Now we will go to item 16. That's the proposed plan change. You'll remember, members, this was deferred from the earlier meeting. We had further work to do with the Tupunamonga Authority, and welcome Todd Elder and John Duguid. Is John still with you, Todd, or?
He's just stepped out of the way.
Sir, with time, can I raise a point of order? It's more a clarification point.
A clarification, yes.
Cool, thanks, Sue. Hey, look, I like the way you've chaired that last item. Could I just get, because I'm really interested in the part of the standing orders that you've elaborated on at some later stage, because I was of the view that the item had closed once it was voted on. So I like it because I feel like I'm learning something. So if I could just get guidance on the Part D still being open, I'd love it, because I think it's been a really healthy discussion to have and keep it open. I really like that, and I just thought, because otherwise, as I know what I would have done, and I like the learning. So thanks, Chair.
Okay, in brief on that, we haven't left the item,
Right.
and if a member who has not spoken can, my understanding, a member who has not spoken can add a new motion.
Oh, right.
So look, we'll ask our
No,
to
this is
just
great.
catch up with you on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Normally, if something is carried and we leave the item very quickly.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I've just had a look through standing orders. I thought once the substantive was put, that was the end of the debate, and I've
Well,
never
look,
heard it being
we'll get a
reopened.
memo out, okay?
Yeah.
Because we're not going to debate
it.
or really go through that one here
Thanks,
now.
Sue.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll go to Todd and John. And John and Todd, you've been treating with the Tupunamonga Authority, and we've had further correspondence from them, and I think you've got good news.
Some good news. Right, so you may have seen the correspondence that Kalinda sent out last night, or yesterday, about 4 o'clock, where the Maunga Authority were confirming they were probably about 90% comfortable with the amendments included as attachment A to item 16. Overnight and this morning we've had further discussions, and Kalinda is now circulating a revised attachment A to the agenda report, which is the amendments to the unitary plan, and Maunga Authority are 100% on board now with these amendments. So good news, we've had an email from Dominic Wilson, who supports the Maunga Authority. He's had discussions with the Chair, and they're now entirely happy with these amendments. So the amendments are shown highlighted yellow. So anything in yellow is a change to what you see in the agenda report as attachment A. In short, the key issue that was still unresolved was temporary construction structures such as cranes and scaffolding. Currently in the unitary plan they're only permitted for 30 days, and then they become, I think, a non-complying activity with compulsory notification, which is obviously a pretty big sledgehammer and not what we really intended. We were recommending previously to allow for cranes and scaffolding up to 2 years as permitted, and then I think non-complying beyond that. We've reached agreement on permitted up to 1 year, restricted discretionary resource consent required for 1 year to 2 years, so there's some consideration of the absolute need for that crane to still stay there, or trying to sort of compress the time frame that the cranes and scaffolding are obstructing views of the Maunga. And then 2 years and beyond would remain non-complying. So we think that's a good way forward, and we're recommending these changes as a replacement to attachment A. We do have a short presentation, but I think in the interest of time, probably just answer any
Member
questions you
Namani
may
will
have.
move. Councillor Filipaina will second. Now, I think this is, we've found a good landing point here. Do we require the presentation, members?
Want to ask a question?
Question, Councillor Cashmore?
Thank you, Mr Chair. Has the construction sector been consulted with initially, or in a secondary case with these changes?
Not at the stage. That would be something that through the submission period we would see what the construction sector and development sector has to say about the change. It's certainly to the benefit to go from 30 days to 1 year permitted.
You would take what you
Potentially they may argue that outside of the view shafts up to 2 years is permitted. So there might be an argument that it should be 2 years, but we'll see what happens in the submission phase.
Paul, thank you.
Because you're having a submission phase, aren't you? That's right, yeah.
Submissions can
Councillor
deal with
Walker?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick question, technical question. I'm assuming that
the reference to fences and walls where their height does not exceed 2.5 metres, and it's repeated elsewhere, is related to ground level. So 2.5 metres.
It's from ground contour, natural ground level. That's
Okay.
correct.
Does that need to be specified so that the 2.5 metres isn't 2.5 metres on a wall on a building or something?
The definition of height in the unitary plan specifies how height should be measured. So
Okay,
unless
in that
Todd,
case, that's fine.
correct me, but that would
Yeah.
be, yeah. So there's a general definition of height in the unitary plan that deals with that issue of how height is measured, and that would apply to this provision.
Well done, John. Todd, good work. Thank you. All those in, it's moved and seconded. Yes, Member Namani, Councillor Filipaina. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Whoop. Just hold, please.
I just didn't know we item 15. We'd already done 15.
16, it's with 16.
Okay. And I just,
Well done.
it is item 15. I didn't know whether we were doing that one.
No, at the outset, I
Sorry,
indicated,
sorry,
Yep.
yep, my bad.
it's all good. Okay, where I just need to say carried. And we'll leave the item and we'll quickly, are we ready to go back to the earlier item? No, we'll move on.